In a land of sun-baked hills and olive groves, nestled between vineyards and fig trees, the village of Kadesh lay quiet and content. It was a small place, but well known for its traditions and reverence for the old ways. Life moved with the rhythm of the seasons, and each family honored the sacred customs passed down by the patriarchs. Now, it was a time of great joy. A wedding had been announced. Eleazar, the beloved son of Simeon the elder, was to be wed to Miriam, the daughter of a respected Levite family from the neighboring village. Preparations had begun weeks in advance. The entire village was stirred with excitement, for weddings in Israel were not just private events. They were communal celebrations of covenant and joy. The betrothal had taken place months before, sealed by a covenant and the drinking of wine. Since then, Eleazar had gone to prepare a place for Miriam in his father's house. The anticipation was like the scent of new wine, rich, intoxicating, filled with promise. Tradition held that when the preparations were complete, the bridegroom would return at an unexpected hour, usually at night, to take his bride home for the final wedding feast. The timing was a test of watchfulness. It was also a symbol, echoing the sacred mystery of Israel's God and his people. The 10 maidens, among those waiting were 10 virgins, young women of purity and grace, chosen to be part of the bridal procession. Each had a lamp, and each was given a role: to wait in vigil for the bridegroom's arrival and to escort him with lighted lamps to the bride's chamber. Their names were as follows: 1. Tirzah, the eldest, calm and discerning; 2. Keziah, full of laughter, the joy of any gathering; 3. Hadassah, quiet but wise, always observing; 4. Abijah, the practical one, whose hands were never still; 5. Damaris, poetic and gentle, full of dreams and hymns. These 5 were known as the wise virgins. Each had brought not only their lamps but extra oil in small flasks, knowing the wait could be long. The other 5 were: 6. Naamah, whose beauty was surpassed only by her restlessness; 7. Zillah, ever distracted by the world's pleasures; 8. Mehetabel, bold in speech but shallow in thought; 9. Sapphira, impulsive and hasty in judgment; 10. Orpah, kind-hearted but careless. They were called the foolish virgins, not because of evil intent, but because they lacked foresight. Their lamps were trimmed and lit, but they carried no extra oil, confident the bridegroom would come soon. Together, the 10 set out toward the bride's house. A stone dwelling adorned with garlands of myrtle and pomegranate branches. There they would wait until the shout came: "Behold, the bridegroom comes." The waiting hours, the sun sank behind the hills, casting golden hues across the land. The 10 virgins sat beneath the stars, their lamps flickering in the twilight. They sang old wedding songs and told tales of other marriages. The air was thick with jasmine and anticipation. Hours passed, lamps burned steadily, though some began to dim. The foolish virgins scoffed gently. "Surely he will come before the oil runs out," said Naamah. "The groom would not delay on such a night," said Zillah. Yet the wise virgins made no reply. Instead, they checked their flasks, their hands resting calmly in their laps. Midnight approached. Sleep, subtle and soft, crept over them. One by one, heads nodded, and the vigil turned into slumber. The lamps sputtered but still burned. Then suddenly, a cry pierced the silence. The midnight cry: "Behold! The bridegroom is coming. Go out to meet him." The sound rang out like a trumpet, echoing through the village streets. The girls jolted awake, startled and breathless. Their eyes searched the night. Lights were appearing in distant alleys. Voices and footsteps grew louder. The wedding procession had begun. The 10 virgins sprang to their feet. Hands fumbled with lamps, trimming wicks, shielding flames from the wind. But as the foolish virgins lifted their lamps, horror dawned. Their flames were dying. "No!" cried Mehetabel. "It's too dim." The oil. We must have more oil, said Orpah, panicking. The wise virgins, already refilling their lamps from the flasks they had carried, looked on solemnly. Give us some of your oil, begged Sapphira. Our lamps are going out. But Tirzah shook her head gently. There will not be enough for us and you. Go quickly to the cellars and buy for yourselves. But it's the middle of the night. Naamah cried. Who will be selling? Abijah looked toward the growing procession. Hurry, if you must. But we cannot wait. The 5 wise virgins turned and joined the gathering crowd, their lamps shining like stars in the night. The bridegroom, Eliezer, was drawing near, his face radiant, his heart full of joy. The foolish virgins ran into the darkness, desperate, searching for oil that could not be found. In haste, the closed door, the feast began, drums and lyres played. Torches lit the sky as Eliezer took Miriam by the hand, and the guests entered the great hall. The door was shut, heavy and final. Inside, there was laughter, music, wine, and dancing. Outside, the 5 foolish virgins returned, breathless, clutching newly bought oil. Their hands trembled as they lit their lamps. They reached the door and knocked. Lord! Lord! Cried Zillah. Open to us. From within came a voice, not harsh, but firm. Truly, I say to you, I do not know you. Silence followed. Cold and unbearable, the lamps still burned in their hands, but the moment was gone. They had been invited, but they were not ready. They had waited, but not wisely. They had assumed, but not prepared. If you like this story, hit the subscribe button so anytime we upload you will be notified. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button for more.